আসসালামু আলাইকুম বিসমিল্লাহির রহমানির রহিম। তো আপনাদেরকে স্বাগতম আমাদের যে ইনস্টিটিউট HRDI হিউম্যান রিসোর্সেস ডেভেলপমেন্ট ইনস্টিটিউট, এখানে আমরা ব্রেনের উপরে কাজ করি। ব্রেন কিভাবে কাজ করে, কখন আমরা যখন ছাত্রদের শেখাই ওদের ব্রেন কিভাবে কাজ করে, টিচার হিসাবে কিভাবে শেখাই, এইসব রিসার্চ আমরা HRDI ইনস্টিটিউটে করে থাকি এবং এই রিসার্চটা আমরা শেয়ার করব আপনাদের সাথে। কিভাবে শেয়ার করব? আমরা একটা গ্রুপ অফ টিচার্স নিয়ে তাদেরকে এইসব পদ্ধতি অ্যাক্টিভিটি মাধ্যমে তাদেরকে পদ্ধতিগুলো শেখাবো, আর সেখানে আপনাদের স্বাগতম। তো আমাদের যে প্রথম লেসন, এটা হবে ব্রেনকে কিভাবে আমরা এনগেজ করতে পারি সেটার উপরে হবে। তো এই চ্যালেঞ্জটা আমরা টিচারদেরকে দেব যে আপনারা চিন্তা করেন, কোনো সময় চিন্তা করেন কিনা ব্রেনের সম্বন্ধে চিন্তা করার দরকার কিনা, কাজের সম্বন্ধে লাগে কিনা, এবং আমরা যখন ছাত্রদের সাথে কাজ করি ছাত্রদের ব্রেনের সম্বন্ধে জানা উচিত কিনা। এটা দিয়ে আমরা স্টার্ট করব সিরিজটা, এবং এই প্রথম পর্বতে আপনাদের স্বাগতম। তা আমরা চলে যাই ক্লাসে। তো আজকে যে আমরা এখানে একসাথে আসছি, কি করব? এনি এক্সপেকটেশনস? কোনো চিন্তা আছে? হোয়াট আর উই ডুইং হিয়ার টুডে? এনিওয়ান? হ্যাঁ,
I think this training program will help us to be a good teacher, a good facilitator, and try to help the students for whatever is needed for their career, for their learning.
I will learn something what I don't know.
okay, good. If I say you already know, then what?
Then definitely it will be a new way to learn.
Okay, great.
Way will be changed.
Sir, I have heard many things of you from my colleagues who have participated in teaching trainings, and I wanted to learn from you, like your thoughts and just.
So this is the name of the session. If you can see at the back, what does it say? Participatory engaging techniques. So who are we going to engage? The students. And who will participate? The students. Okay? So at the top there, can you see what it says at the top? Designing for learning. So what we want to do is learn how to design for learning of our students. Yes? Okay. Anyone, any comments? And just as you are sitting silently, nobody wants to speak, our students are the same. They don't want to speak. All right? And if you look at them, they smile just like you're smiling. But what we need is to get them to open up, to speak. Otherwise, we won't get them to participate. So it's quite an effort, because throughout their schooling years, what have they done? The teacher has given them notes. They've been to Nilkhet to buy suggestion books, suggestions on essays, and they've simply memorized. Our students don't even know that they have the right to think. They don't know that their thinking will be valued. Okay? And this has a very long-term effect on how they perform as human beings. Because if they know that they have no right to think, no right to offer an opinion, they don't develop self-esteem. They don't develop respect for themselves. So that is where we are. And our effort in this session is how to get them to open up, to think, to participate, and to engage. So this is the name of the series, Designing for Learning. All right? Okay. So my first question, when we go to class, what are we doing? What are we, when we talk to students, what is the main job that we are doing in class? What are we addressing? What are we working with?
So the first task would be to study the students,
Mm-hmm.
then make the students understand what they don't understand.
Okay.
And also, for us, the teachers, our task is to understand what they don't understand and make them what they don't understand.
Okay.
So it's like everything based on understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And
So how does it,
exploiting,
but where will this understanding take place?
it could be in the classroom,
Okay.
laboratory, or
Okay. Let me ask the
open
question,
space.
throw the question to the others. Where does the understanding take place? In the classroom? Where does understanding take place?
Depends on us, how we are going to present ourselves to them.
Okay.
It can take 1 hour to make
No. The question was, where?
inside the classroom and
Inside the classroom? Outside the classroom? Where does understanding take place? When we deal with students, if I say to you that learning takes place in the brain, when we are addressing our students, what are we addressing? Are we addressing the physical being? Whom are we addressing? We are addressing the brain of the student. Isn't that correct? So wherever learning takes place, if it's inside the classroom, if it's on Facebook, wherever it is, the learning has to take place inside the student's brain. So as teachers, have we ever thought how learning takes place in the brain? Is it important? For example, let me give you another example. If we go to a tailor and want the tailor to make a costume for us, dress or trousers, suit, whatever. Does this tailor say, okay, come back and I'll have the garment ready for you next week? Or does the tailor do something else first? What does the tailor do? He takes the measurement. Why? Yeah, but why? Can't he just make it? He's an experienced tailor. He's been tailoring for many years. Everybody's shape is different. Everybody is unique. Everybody is an individual. Very good. So, if we are addressing the brain, do we need to measure the brain? No, the question is, do we need to find out how the brain works? Slide calipers?
No, it's not.
What do we mean by measuring the brain? All right, let's forget the student. Have we ever thought how our own brain works? Because we are performing many things in our daily lives. Do we ever wonder that how can I use my brain more efficiently? Or do we all take it for granted? We don't need to think about it. What? Forget the students. For ourselves, how do we use our brain? Have you ever thought about it?
I try to understand the
Okay.
thing.
Is your brain working when you're sleeping? You shut
It's
it down?
working.
Just before you go to sleep, you shut down your brain?
No.
Then?
Sleeping is a task. So when a task done by an individual,
Uh-huh.
then brain works, even in sleeping.
Okay. But when you're sleeping, do we participate in dreams?
Definitely.
Okay? And our emotions, a lot of things happen in the dreams. Yeah? We see people, we recognize people in the dreams. That means what? Our brain is on. The recognition part is on. We feel emotions while seeing the dream. So our emotions are on. Our brain is totally active all the time, actually. The brain never goes to, even if you wanted to.
At the same time,
brain,
sir,
shut it down.
at the same time, sir, when we sleep,
Yes.
if mosquito bite us, we can feel it. So brain was active then.
Yeah, you get awake.
Yes, sir.
So your nervous system is also working. So the brain is working all the time. So we need to, can we think about how we use our brain? Let me tell you 2 instances. For example, when we get into trouble, let's say we get into trouble with our parents when we're young kids, do we use our brain? How do you use it? How do we use it? Can you pass the mic? How do we use the brain? What do we want to do? When we're in trouble, what do? We want to get out of trouble. So we need to use our ingenuity to get out of trouble, right? And we start using our brain. Or do we say, no, stop. Let me go to Daffodil and learn something, then I'll come back and then I'll come out of trouble. Do we say that?
So consciously we use our brain by thinking. When we think, of course, our brain is working and we know that. But unconsciously, I mean, we do not know right now my brain is working or not, but it is working unconsciously. I mean, without my conscious also it is working.
Okay, so there's 2 parts. One is conscious and the other is unconscious. So let me ask you to try out the unconscious. Can you all close your eyes? Close your eyes. And do you feel anything? Do you hear anything? Do you hear something? Can anybody hear the AC on? The AC is on. Yes, sir. Right? Now this sound is going into our brain and we are constantly aware that something is on at the back. Our conscious brain, as you said, we need to look at when we start thinking. And we are very creative. Let me give you another example. When we, for example, when we sit down to study, right? The teacher has given us a chapter to study, and we look at the first line, second line. When we come to the third line, what happens? Sorry? You go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, what do? Huh?
We start understanding the main topic,
You
main
do?
theme. No.
Well, let me tell you what you do. Because you're saying that because I'm asking the question. But let me tell you what you really do. You think, acha, fridge coke kichu baki chilo to খেয়ে আসি।
একটু ঘুরে আসি।
একটু ঘুরে আসি। তারপরে কার সাথে কথা বলার বাকি ছিল, কথাটা শেষ করে নি। টেলিভিশনে কোন সিরিয়াল এখন চলতেছে, ওই ফাইনালি
But if the topic is interesting, then we feel interest in reading. If
You do?
interest, yes.
Okay.
If it's a book, it's a novel.
All right. So all I'm saying is when we start studying, our brain goes into creative mode of how to avoid studying. So we think of everything else other than studying, right? So our brain, we are actually very creative. Now what I want you to do now is find out, think. Can you talk to each other? Talk to each other. You talk to each other of how we use our brains. And I'll give you a word. Okay? Talk to each other. I want you to discuss how we use our brains. It's not easy, but still I want you to talk. Okay. So as you're discussing, I'll give you a word, engage. What does the word engage mean? Huh? Getting involved. So how do you get your brain involved? All right? I mean, engage, we sometimes use this word for cars. Like engage the car into the first gear. or into the drive gear. Because if we don't engage the gear, what happens? No, the car starts. The car starts. But if we don't put it into gear, we don't move. I mean, we can press the accelerator, but nothing happens.
To make a linkage with another thing.
Link with another thing, okay. Any other ideas?
To be honest with the matter and to find it interesting.
Okay. All right, let me put it another way. When we start the car, the engine is on. The engine is running all the time. Like our brain is actually running all the time. But if we want to move, we have to engage first gear or drive gear. And then we start moving. Same with the brain. If we want to move our brain into new areas of thinking, we have to engage the brain. But how to do it? How can we engage the brain? Talk to each other, and I'll give you cards. I'll give you cards, and you write your ideas on the cards. Okay, but first talk to each other. Talk. I want to hear noise. Okay, I want you to shout, scream. You discuss how do you engage the brain. Very difficult.
Engaging for moving.
Yeah. Ideas. I want ideas from you on how to engage the brain. How to start thinking. Talk to each other. And if you don't know the person beside you, I'll introduce you to the person. We are supposed to engage our brain into thinking how to engage our brain. You first talk. Think of occasions where you used your brain without prompting. You were in trouble. How did you start thinking how to get out of trouble?
So doesn't it depend on willingness?
Okay. That can be an idea. All right? But first talk to each other, write your ideas in your diary, and then what I want you to do is use these cards to write your ideas in phrases. Okay? But not many. Per pair, I want one card. Per pair, one card. Okay? But your ideas in block letters, in phrases, not in sentences. Okay? But first, I want, the card is later. I want you to talk. Talk to each other. Okay, good. Okay, you said curiosity. Okay, was Einstein curious?
He was curious about something. That's how his brain works.
Was Einstein curious? You said curiosity. Was Einstein curious?
Yes, I mean, he has to be curious because if he's not curious, his brain will not go to forward bias and he will not think about it.
So what did he convert his curiosity into?
Something beneficial for the humankind.
Think again. He was curious. What's the next step?
Activity. Or
Before that.
thinking. He became curious, then he thinking.
How do you launch thinking? How did he launch his thinking?
By knowledge, having some previous knowledge or
Think about
something
it.
new.
Talk to each other. Eh?
Interest.
Interest. Talk to each other. Talk. Discuss. I'm not going to tell you the answer. You have to find it. Okay. Yeah, I want just one idea per card, but primarily I want each pair to give me one card. Yeah? Yeah, because normally actually I run these sessions with only 30 people. So we have a huge crowd. That's why for the moment, write one card, but if you feel that, yes, sir, I have another great idea, then I'll permit you to write the second card. But before that, I want you to talk. Talk to each other. Discuss. Open your minds. How do we engage our brain? Ideas on how to engage the brain into thinking. Write it in the card. What did you write? Okay, I mean, that's one answer, plan. But even before planning, topic.
Based on the topic, you should have proper motivation.
Okay.
Engage yourselves if it is attractive. And
Very good. Then what do you convert your motivation? But that's
I want myself to be motivated.
involvement how?
Interesting, attractive,
Attractive and,
and
motivating.
motivating.
Okay. So you're motivated. What
yes,
then?
sir. Sir, motivation can
Because
be.
motivation is a feeling.
Yes.
Okay. How will you engage your brain to carry on
Sir,
after the motivation?
Sir, if I am sure regarding my goal, I can take pain and I will
But that's part of the
secure
planning
the
activity.
Okay.
But before that, you need to plan the activity.
Plan for activity.
Before that, before planning,
Yes, sir.
the brain needs to engage how to plan.
Okay.
So what do you do then? Think about
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
Think about it. You put 2 cards, set a particular goal, visualize a given situation. Good. Now all ideas are acceptable, but there is one main answer, activity. Very good. But I'm still looking for the answer. How will you engage the brain? Feelings? Feelings are emotion, which is also in the brain. But do feelings think? Before we concentrate, you've written thinking deeply. What else?
Sir, we haven't written in the card, but I think we need to concentrate deeply to engage our brain.
Okay. But how will you concentrate? Observation. Okay, that's an idea. You can put all these ideas in the cards.
The main thing is questioning the brain.
Why do you need to question the brain?
Why should I learn this?
Okay.
How should I learn this?
Okay.
And what's the benefit after I learn it?
Okay.
So once I get all these things into my brain,
Right.
it would be like automatically I would be interested to learn it.
Okay. So, did you hear what he said? Huh? You didn't hear it? To get the brain into gear, you need to ask a question. And the basic questions are why, what, where, and as I said about Einstein, whenever he was curious, curiosity was converted into a question. And then he set about answering the question, looking for resources, experimenting, researching, whatever. But he started with a question. Without a question, you cannot motivate the brain. Because the brain doesn't know what to do. Okay? All right, but anyway, all your answers are acceptable, they're all good. Okay, I need 2 brave volunteers. So can you collect the cards from, you collect the cards from this side, and you collect the cards from this side. Okay, so can you give our 2 volunteers a hand? These 2 are brave volunteers, Shaoxi volunteers, yes? Next time, I want some more Shaoxi volunteers. All right. Now, so both of you stand here. What I want you to do is show everybody the card and read out the card and then put it on the board. But you pass it to him and he'll put it on the board. Show the card. Where's the microphone? Okay. So you read out the card.
Okay. First one is observation. Then the next one is questioning. Visualization. By thinking, set a particular goal. Visualize a given solution. Challenge to a destination or goal.
Willingness, attention, situation, questioning, interest, refreshment. So when do you take the refreshment? Okay. Of course, the brain needs food. And finally, motivation. All right. Show the card.
Think and learn. Observation. Try.
Enjoying the task wholeheartedly. Very good. This person must be from English. A big word.
Creative thinking, problem and shortcoming.
Yes.
By involving my mind with another mind or another thinking.
Very good. Networking. We need cables between brains.
Set our plan or mind, pay attention to do or receive. Ask question, concentration, thinking, willingness. Curiosity, activities and questions. Asking question and mental preparation. Analyze of the tasks and work according. Making mind map, observation, motivation. Thinking deeply, making a topic interesting. Concentration, understanding.
Anybody, any more cards? We have another card here. What is the feedback? So let's put it up. Okay. You pointed out, what did you point out about the cards? You said something about the cards?
Actually, each item is different here. That means people are thinking different way.
Yeah, is that important? How is that
Definitely,
significant?
definitely. From this idea, we can generate the new more thing from different people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. So, everybody has their own ideas, which is good. All right? So give yourself a clap for having different ideas. Okay. But some ideas here are similar. What we want to do now is group and cluster these ideas to get similar ideas together. So let's get another board here. I want one more volunteer to come up and help the gentleman classify the cards. Or you can recommend from sitting there. Let's try put the classification on here. Okay? So let's start with which card?
First one.
First one, okay. All right. Now, I need two more people. Can you come up? Yeah, come up and help group these cards. Okay, great. Now, what I want you to do is when the groups are made, I want you to write a title card. Okay? Let's look at the first column. All of you look at the first column. It says analysis of the task, observation, visualization, simulation, visualize. Okay? So what title can we give this first column? Would this be appropriate? Observation? Because before we start thinking, we need to see something. We need to see a problem. Okay? All right. Now put it there.
Next one is questions.
Okay, so the first column is observation. The next question. Okay? Question. Underline it. And tape. Where's the tape? Okay, here we have some tape. So the second column is what? Question. Okay, which one? The third column we have association of ideas, making an effort, set a plan. Okay? Okay. You can put plan. Put plan, or you can put guess. Plan, okay. So can you all thank our volunteers? Okay. You can suggest our volunteers are still here. You can ask them to change it if you want. Which one?
I have mentioned creative thinking and problem solving as my idea. So I think this was wrongly posted. I want to put it into here.
Okay. This one. Where do you want it to go? Observation. Okay. First one. Anyone else?
Sir, association of ideas should be in the link category.
Association
of ideas should be
link category.
It's an association.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody more?
Are you all happy now? Yes.
Check should be in either question or observation.
Check. It should be either observation or question.
What does check mean?
Please choose one.
Choose one.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, can we let them go then? Yes. Have they done a good job? Oh, you? Yes. Huh?
No, sir, with the class.
Oh, okay, with the class. Thank you. All right. So, can we reflect on what we have done here? Can we think about what we did? What was the first problem that I was faced with? As a facilitator, what was the first problem that I was faced with? Yes, a silent class. Yes, nobody wants to respond. Okay? So what did I do? I waited, I stopped, and I, tried. But even then, the class was mostly silent. So then what did we do? We got the class thinking how? By doing pair work. Okay? It's easier to talk to your neighbor than to talk to the teacher, right? So you talk to each other. Then what did you do? You wrote down your ideas, and the ideas are now here. Okay? So after the ideas come out, can you tell me something about these ideas? Anything you feel about these ideas?
So we have written down refreshment on our card because I think I'm talking about myself.
It's time for refreshment.
Yeah, if I want to study for 3 hours, it's tough to hold my attention. So I prefer to listen to songs in between that, or I prefer to watch television for a while. So I think that's the food for my brain to work, and that's refreshment for me.
All right.
So I'm just justifying it.
Okay, no. I wasn't complaining. It's okay. But what I'm asking, think about what we did. What do these cards represent? What do these cards represent?
Our thought process, how do we think about our brain? How do you want our brain to work?
Yes, okay.
So our thought process mainly.
Very good. So everybody has their own ideas. Yes? But are the ideas wrong?
Sir, I think we need to rearrange the headings.
Okay, you're welcome. You can come up and do that. But what I'm asking you is the ideas that you gave, is any idea wrong? Is any idea right? Okay, you're saying the ideas are not wrong. Are the ideas right?
Sir, in terms of engaging our brain,
yes.
So I think what we have written over there,
right.
So ideas couldn't be wrong.
Why not?
It's my philosophy over there. How do I feel about my brain, about learning, and how is it works?
Yeah.
It can be changed or it can be upgraded, but it is not wrong.
Very good.
Because it's inside me.
And another thing, have I imposed my ideas on you? Have I imposed as a teacher? Have I said you have to follow exactly what I'm doing or saying or thinking? Have I imposed my thoughts on you?
If a teacher imposes his ideas on the students very strictly, he's a bad teacher.
No. Okay. But here, have I imposed my ideas on you?
No, sir.
So what did we do?
we just, you have shared everything with us. It's on the whiteboard.
Yes.
We're getting every ideas jotted down over there.
Okay.
So I can see it, and I can get more ideas from that, and I can
Right.
upgrade my ideas and philosophy.
Now, every idea has a place. Okay? What I was asking, is it wrong? It's not wrong. It has its own place because everybody thinks in different areas. But nobody's idea is wrong. So why do we classify it? To put it in an appropriate place. That this is what I'm thinking about. I might be thinking before, after, in between, inside the problem, whatever. But I am thinking. Right? And when I'm thinking, I need to classify where my thinking goes. Okay? And such things are called taxonomies. What's a taxonomy? Classifying ideas. So nobody's idea is wrong. And as a teacher, as a facilitator, I must welcome and get every student to think and give value to that particular idea. Because it is not wrong. It is never wrong. Because the first person who invented something, where did he come up with the idea? And when he invented something, did anybody say, no, you're wrong? For example, when a child starts to walk and the child falls down, all right? Does any parent ask, why did you fall down? যে আমার 14 পুরুষ ঠিকমতো হাঁটছে হ্যাঁ তুই পারলি না? Do we say that? We don't. But why don't we say that? Why don't we scold a child?
I think it will break down his confidence.
Yes. Okay. Any other ideas?
Because that's the natural way of doing things.
Because I know that he or she is a child.
I think we're all children, even if we're 90 years old.
Yes.
But
I know the position that in this stage, these are the experiences he or she should feel to cope up and learn.
Let me phrase the question in another way. Finally, when the child starts walking, the child is reasonably confident. Why is the child confident?
Because he knows how to walk and he knows he's not going to fall down.
No. And
The parents walking.
Observing the parents walking? No. He knows how to walk and how to?
He knows how to walk and how to fall.
Exactly. Why is he confident? Because the child knows how to fall and how to walk. He has the whole range of experience. Because there's nothing outside falling and walking. Okay? But if you did not allow him to fall, let's say you got hold of the child and said, hey, take a pata, tene danabi. Yes? Would the child know what to do after that? The child has to try out both how to fall and how to walk. How many of you learned how to ride a bicycle? Okay, the boys, most of the boys. Okay? And can you tell me who is a better rider? Who falls? Okay? The person who falls from his bike, that person becomes a better rider because that person also knows how to fall and how to ride. So you need all the experiences. And that is what gives you confidence. So if you do not allow the ideas of students to come up and give them the right to think and say, they will never be confident in the subject. All right? And everybody's idea has a place. Okay? So this is what we're trying to do here. Right? Now, from here, what do we do? What do we do from here?